Hello, welcome back, man. Uh, um, edit. Still do it. Hmm. Let me sitting around for a while. This thing's trading at the midpoint still. Ugh. It's deeper red. They're trying to reclaim yesterday's low. They're really pushing for it, but I have to wait. I think if anything, on the initial test here in the high 80s, yesterday's high is probably a short, but I'm not gonna do that. Kind of squeeze their pushing right now. Yeah, the sellers are there right at the yesterday's low. They rejected already 6 points as soon as they tapped into it. I think they reclaim at some point. I just don't know it's gonna be right now. I'm gonna be waiting for a dip. As you can see, I have some levels there on my Sierra chart at 825 on the S&P, 815. Those are the zones I'm watching. I'm waiting for. Or we reclaim 90s or so. Like if we can hold 90s, 68 90s for like at least a good amount of time, we would need at least half an hour or more holding above there. I'll definitely I'll definitely long there. Or we come down to the 20s, the 68 20s. One or the other, because you can see there's weekly and call and put walls there. I have. Oh man. They're squeezing. Look at the tape. They're trying to squeeze. Oh boy. We'll see if they succeed or not. Oh, there we go. Boom. That's better. Holy fucking Christ. Oh, no. Now we can calculate the levels here. Let's update this. And we're really down here, huh? A weekly flip. God damn. I need a compressor. Okay. There we go. Boom. There's your new updated levels. This is more accurate. Get the NQ one too. Or let me actually post these now. Let's post these here. Yeah. NQ. Here's E. Alright. Post it. Copy. And just chill, wait, relax, man. This tape will eventually settle. This is a lot of volume getting filled at the high. Trying to reclaim, but they're not gonna do it. Honestly, I think they're just weak. Update this one too. Update this one. The hell? MU is green today? What the fuck? That's crazy. Alright. Pretty wild. That's a high flyer. This is still a short. I mean, we're holding below everything. This is still a short setup. I'm not gonna short it though, I will tell you that. But I want to see a reclaim of 90, 93, give or take, or come down. You know, put in a failed breakdown. Ugh. I mean, given the entire gap down, the IB is so small. We already got like 30 minutes, and the IB is still within the same area. They're trying to suppress volatility. Some volatility. Looks like news oriented. I'll see if it continues. The table like woke up and then it started shifting. Right there again. That's news oriented possibly because it's 7:07. It's not even top of the hour or anything. I'm waiting till we go lower. Lower. Bring it lower. Yeah, the range is super narrow, dude. For given the fact that we gapped down, had such a large overnight range the past two sessions, this IB is it's I mean, if you're referring to the first hour, the IB is narrow as hell comparatively. I mean, we still have 20 minutes to expand, but yeah, they're holding the bottom end of value right now from overnight at 64. Don't think it'll hold, but it's there. Welcome, Mr. Hedge Fund. I'm not sure if you what you trade or how you trade, but feel free to share what you're looking for. Level 2. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, more or less, right? You're looking at the same info, and we probably may come to the same conclusion. Yeah, it does. Oh. You still with Apex? I have a PA right now. Yeah. Look. Let me see. Where's my? Yeah, I do. I'm not my priority much, but yeah, I have a PA open up right now with them. How do I open a fucking trade window? There we go. I have a PA with them right now. I just haven't traded it today. That's what I was here. I stopped because they had a bunch of new rules. Yeah, I mean, that's why I traded less, frequently, because of the 30% rule, more or less. So I'll trade it just for like I have a buffer, so if I stop trading it, it would kind of suck for me. So I just trade it here and there, not as frequent as before. Only when I see a good trade, and then I'll take one trade on it, maybe a day. I primarily swing trade now, so I do trade with Fidias, I think it's called. I don't know if I can pronounce it. They're the ones that I have open right now. Three. I don't know how much it's three, six, like 11, 12,000 profit. But do you trade with your own personal account? No, I do not. No, I do in terms of like a portfolio of stocks that I own, but I don't trade those stocks. I do own a portfolio that I buy, you know. Occasionally I'll take a trade on that one, but it'll be like a swing trade, say on like some shares on some stock. Not really. Or on the SPXL. So I use the SPXL derivative of the SPX to swing trade here and there. But we have to have like a multi-week failed breakdown or something for me to want to get long shares like that. But as far as like personal futures account, no. What do you guys trade right now? You guys trade personal accounts, bonds, which ones? What's cool right now? What are the cool kids doing right now? Over at Lucid? I've seen a lot of posts about that. Cool kids over at Lucid. Got it. Why is that? Oh, I'm Lucid. Ezra, are you ready, buddy? Okay. Lucid. I've seen that name before. Never looked at it. Check the new Lucid Black. All right, let's see. Lucid. The car comes out. Prop firm. Trading. I do use Jigsaw. It's the DOM you see on the left side of the screen. This DOM right here. Can you see the mouse? Yeah, you can see me hovering, but it's this DOM. Look, this is the Jigsaw DOM. I certainly still use it. I am new. I am now into options. Doing what? Like naked calls and puts, or what do you mean? There's so many ways to trade options. Yes, I see it. Sorry. No worries. I just have Sierra chart too because they have a great profile chart. This is amazing. Like this profile here, their profiles are really neat. And along with customization, like I have my gamma levels here on Sierra that I integrated from my API data, which is like it's they have such great customization. So put credit spreads, got it. Selling puts. Well, not naked puts, right? Just like spread. Are they zero weekly, 3 day, 2 day? What kind of spreads are you selling if it's on the index? Because I know they have a few different kinds. Zero day. Okay. How are you deciding which ones to sell? I'd consider Sierra if I wouldn't take me months of research. So that is true. Like this took me, yeah, it took me about a month. You're not wrong. You know, I set it all up. I sell SPY. Yeah, I know, but I know you sell SPY. But what I'm saying is like, how do you dictate which strike, when to sell? Like, what are the parameters here? Like certain delta you're selling? Is it a certain um setup intraday you're selling in terms of put spread it? Like, what is it? What's the trigger there? Like you always shoot for the same delta, or you're selling at the money, scalping at the money, spreads, like what is it? You let them go to zero. I know spreads, I used to trade them. 15 delta. 15 delta, just exclusively 15 delta, that's the only parameter. The So what's good about Lucid Black? I see it's like, is it because of the 60% consistency? Because it's higher than normal? Oh man. and buying 10 spreads. So like an iron condor. But you're buying the call credit spread and the put spread? Or what do you mean? Yeah, right. Okay, I'll get. You can watch you for a little bit. I will head out right now to school. Okay, that early. Just bull put spreads. Okay, got it. Well, that's good, man. You know, I mean, if you're we're in a massive uptrend. You know, the last 6 months have been higher and higher. So statistically, if you did it every day over a course of 6 months, um you should have a positive return, right? Because the trend is up month over month. The expectancy is in your favor because the trend is up. So just keep that in mind, you know, like it's probably been very good for you because the wind had been at your back. Because to have 6 months of green in a row is an anomaly. And they were talking about bonus payouts, no clue what they're building. Oh, okay. So consistency, no buffer. Ah. So you can request at any price? Like you don't have to have a buffer? This looks like it's ready to squeeze. They're defending the put wall right there at the 68.65 on the S&P. This might go. I'm not gonna long this quite yet, but did you take some trade? No, I haven't traded anything. I don't have any trades open. The P&L, the profit that I have is from a short I held over the weekend, and then a long that I took yesterday. That I took profit on, but got trailed out overnight. So that's what I'm green on right now, but I haven't taken anything today at all. The tape is getting Momo here. We'll see if it holds. There's going to be some time. I mean, I don't think they'll. I need to see it hold over 90s right here. Hold over. I don't know if they have the balls to do it. They might want to bring it lower. Again, I want to buy it lower, not really up here. But I'm watching the Dow, watching the Nasdaq, see how they're holding up. They got the big squeeze. The IB is still not set. It's still like 6 minutes. Hip hop. Order book trading. I mean, I don't exclusively trade on the order book. I will say, like, I don't exclusively like whatever's on the DOM doesn't necessarily tell me to go long or short. It does give me clues if I'm already interested in an area. So, for example, if we're selling off into a zone of interest, well, that's because it's a prior whatever. I'm not going to explain that because it's not my newsletter. But if we're going into it and the tape starts to slow down or volume starts to dissipate as we head into that area, I won't long it immediately, but if it starts, the volume starts to thin out, and then it comes back and reclaims with volume, then that's definitely a setup right there. I tried it, the magnets. It's hard. It's not consistent. That's what it is. You got to learn to differentiate the magnet stuff. Like it's not consistently always gonna hit, you know. But again, I don't use it as my primary reasoning for entry modeling or not. They're squeezing here. Here's the 90s. Yeah, I don't know. I have a whole. I mean, I have a newsletter. Kind of. I again profiles primarily, and then levels, and I make plans based on that, and I use things in conjunction with that. Here's the other trade right here. Those are. I write all my plans every single day, and there we go. Mm, mm, I have to go. All right, man. See you. Thanks for training in. I'm Sarah. Good job. All right. See if we can get a failed breakdown of this area. If we can hold 90s here on a little dip, I'll get long against the IB low. We'll see if that holds or not. They're squeezing here. Oop, I closed the jet. Got a failed breakdown for sure if this holds over 90s now. Yeah, the Dow put in a failed breakdown too. Let's look at this. If it holds, I'll give it another half hour, give or take, or 15 minutes. But Dow put in failed breakdown, so did the Nasdaq. S&P is holding the failed breakdown currently as we speak at 90s. Oh, I'll give it some time to hold, but I don't want to front run this yet. I'll give it some time. If it does hold here, it goes straight to 914, 913 from here. All right, I put a bid at 90. Yeah, well, I should give it some more time, but if it comes down there, I want that fill. The lean's gonna have to be around the 60s, so the low from the pre-market here, this little spike, the 60. I almost think the better long is this low right here. I don't even know if they revisited. That's the problem. Here, we fail, like come down. That would be probably the best long right there. I'm probably just gonna wait. It's a gamma level. It's the IB low. It's where we kind of came from. What I'll end up doing is probably scaling into the trade. But I have two zones that I mean, I like the 90 more or less if it holds right here into the top of the hour and into midday. If it can just even hold just the 90s for the next few hours, I don't even care if it goes anywhere. It doesn't have to go any higher. As long as it forms value over 90, the 890 into midday, I will probably get a late day pop if we can do that. Or an overnight squeeze, I don't know, but I'm gonna wait here. It's a tricky setup, more or less. Volume's drying up as we go down into the zone. Here's a dip. Let's see. Gotta hold. If not, then you know, I like the 60s. Hmm. They're trying to hold it. Again, top of the hour, we still have 5 minutes, see if it holds here or not. Up the 90s. I might just scale into this trade just to be sure. I'm not going to full in onto it. Just given the macro backdrop we have, it's not really a favorable thing to want to size fully in. I don't even have a failed breakdown. I mean, the failed breakdown technically is forming. It's not complete. Okay, they're failing. Yeah, 5 minutes. We'll see what they hold. If not, we'll have to try the dip below value area low. Like I said earlier, 60s. Dip below this and then reclaim. And then you'll be able to test the 80s. I'll scale there and see if it holds or not. Essentially what I'm saying is if it doesn't hold here, then I will try for the failed breakdown here. It will do something like this, reject, and then come down. Boom, come back, hold, and then we'll enter on the reclaim here. And then scale at the 80s right here this morning. Resistance, which is also the value. Top end of value right now. Right here. Right now it looks like it's accepting back within the value. It could reject and hold, as you can see the... See, there we go. It's a little bigger. Right here. So it's either going to remain imbalanced, hold above this value area, this little volume shelf. Either going to reject and hold, or it's going to accept back within and come back and test somewhere within this area, which is again 60s. See what it does in about 4 minutes before this period ends on the time profile. Let's see how this period closes. About to close the period here on the time profile in like a minute and some change. If it doesn't hold, then we'll wait for the lows. Okay. Seems like it wants to hold over. Skill into it. I'll up 2 for now, and then I'll add another 3 later. At 30 seconds, about to close the period, and it's holding over 90, so I like it. If they fill me at 93. Okay. And then is up right tight. All right, I'll put the 4 here. Only one. Yo, for weeks, sold out seats to hear Big and Small speak. See if this plays out. Again, I'll probably scale around 904. That was a pivot from overnight. where we broke down from. So, oh shit, it came really small. So right here, it was a pivot here overnight where we bounced a few times, then eventually broke down. We tested it from underneath right now, and then we failed. Once we approach there, I'll probably end up scaling there, and then hold a runner or a smaller piece of a position, and then see if we can tag the 914, which is above that. That's where we failed. That's where we closed on the MLK day. So on Monday, we closed at 914, give or take, somewhere around there. That would be the next area to target. We'll see if this holds. The majority of the strength is coming from the NASDAQ here. No heat. Ooh. Mm, 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 mm. You can see here the profile. We got to hold over this node, right? If we hold over that, then we can test between the current highs and then the yesterday's value, which is 914 area. Oh, they're failing. Oh, they're pulling back. Regional this. Anyway, they gotta hold minimum these 90s, 80s. I mean, they can come back and test 80 and then reject, which is where VWAP is. Start holding below VWAP. There's a high chance we have a failure, but as long as we're above VWAP and the volume area from this morning, from the opening range, we should be able to gravitate towards the next value. So we're imbalanced right now, right? So there's two markets will balance and then imbalance. So this is balance, this was balance, and then leaving these zones. Right here, the gap is imbalance. So either it comes back away to test or it comes back in and then it fails and comes back lower. Right? My assumption here is that we're imbalancing to test this area here. There. You can see the divergence between the S&P and the NQ. So NQ still holding, S&P is trying to fade out. That's primarily due to the weakness in the Dow. The Dow is puking right now. It's not holding this little reclaim on the Dow. If the Dow pukes here harder, it's gonna fail. Need to have them all in tandem. This might not work out. Could be a good reversal lower. We'll see. I'll give it time. I mean, my stop loss is way lower anyway. Let it play out. The idea is we hold it here, the value, and we haven't, again, we can go all the way down to 80s and we're still good in terms of it being imbalanced. Got to hold here. We can come down here, test it, reject it though. We got to come back above it. We can come down here and still be fine. So my idea is I want consolidation at minimum right here. Minimum right there. And then even if we don't go anywhere right now, I could hold this for hours. If this holds into the end of the day, we'll likely test here, which is 913. So that's the idea here. Like keep holding the trade. See if it plays out. Easy. Ah, wrong one. Bobo. Yeah, is this thing gonna hit 903 already? Here's the 904 area. And it's coming for that 904 area. So again, the pivot that I said earlier. Let's scale there, and then we'll scale some more at 914 if it tags. We have earnings today, I think, after the bell, or tomorrow. Well, I just got a notification. I thought I read it right. Today after the bell, okay. So we'll see if market reacts to that. I know it's been on a massive downtrend as far as Netflix goes. I think it went from 100 to 70 or 80. I think it's down like 20%. You don't trade with footprint? Not much anymore. No, not really. I have a footprint chart, but I don't even look at it lately. I use more of the profiles. The footprint is great confluence. Don't get me wrong. Like, it definitely is great confluence, but I don't really need it anymore, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't need it for what I'm doing anymore. I found myself looking at it less and less. I still have it on my screen. It's just behind the profile. It's like on a different tab. I just found myself not really using it as much, so I just don't look at it. It's useful. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it doesn't have value. It has tons of value. But I haven't used it for confirmation anymore in some time. So nothing wrong with having one. I think it's great. And here's another dip. What did it come to? Like 902, 901, 903? Wow. What was it? 903? Yeah. Okay, when you say you main look at profile, are you referring to the DOM? No, like literally a profile, like a volume profile, TPO/volume profile chart. There is a profile on the DOM, so I do look at that one too. Don't get me wrong, I definitely do. Here's what I look at, okay? I got like this. Boom, boom. I drew this the other day. Someone asked me. I got profile plus gamma levels. And then we have DOM, right? DOM, and then the chart, like that. It's pretty much my analysis, top down like that. And then entry. But literally, I mean profile, like a profile chart. Because the thing is, like, I'm not really trading intraday. I'm looking for a swing trade or a bigger move than what the DOM is capable of producing. Like, I can look at the DOM and I can see the ebbs and flows, like rotations, you know, up and down, whatever rotation is for that current day. Today it was more like around 10 points rotation. I can see the rotations coming in and out of the market on the DOM, but I don't really care for it because I'm not looking to trade that rotation. Like the short that I took on Friday at the close, at the end of the day, that I swung into Monday or Sunday, whatever. Like, it had nothing to do with the DOM. I swung over an 80 point swing. It was luck, really, because I mean the gap down was not anticipated, at least not as a Friday. But the profile was telling me all week since Thursday, sorry. The volume profile chart was telling me since Thursday that we could potentially have a reversal down to the 6880s, 6900. The profile chart was saying that if we close the week below 6988, and we did, we closed below it at 76. So I went short near the end of the day at 88. I think 86 was my fill, something like that. And then we gapped down to 6,900. 69.14, 69.20. I scaled there, and then I scaled more overnight at 6,900. I went lower than that, but that was my target. 68.80 was the ultimate low that the volume profile chart was saying was potentially going to tag if we couldn't hold 69.14. I could never have found that on the DOM, that high risk reward trade. And it's all documented. I wrote it all. And I warned on my newsletter that I might out every single day. I wrote about it for 2 days straight. And now the NQ's losing steam. It's just pinned. It hasn't moved. Huh. Oh, oh God. Here's coming back and test the top end of the profile at the more or less a 60, 84 here, 80 area. Compile these two. Right there. Testing the top end of that value right here. 84, 83, which is where VWAP is, ironically. It's got to hold a minimum above VWAP. If it doesn't, it tucks back in, will come down to 60s again. We'll see how this holds. Ugh. What I'll end up doing is if this does hold, I will probably add to this trade and then move my stop higher. But for now, I gotta wait to see how it closes here. It has to reclaim 87. Right here, reclaim. Something like that on a little micro pop. Gotta hold in the next few minutes. If it does, I'll drag my stop a little bit below the VWAP and add to this trade. I'll probably only add 2 lots, but I don't know, a little bit. You can see the reclaim would be right here, right? It's got to hold above that. If it does, I'll add to this trade. It's coming back. We'll see if it holds. Right at 87, kind of teetering. Trying to reclaim. All right, I'll bid here. It's probably gonna, it's gonna fail. It was a rejection. Nonetheless, I'll do what I said. I'll put my stop here. Where's VWAP? VWAP is 81, so we'll put it like at 80s. A few points below. And we will scale this one, the ad, at 903. This one will scale at 914.3. I added more on that trade. I'm assuming this is going to be a failed breakdown of this current range. And we're going to come back and test 904. That's the assumption here. Who knows if it will or not. But we got a little range here. And we probe below it. Right there, 2 bounces. Trying to hold back above. The assumption is to scale here. If it holds 88. If it breaks down and breaks below VWAP, then we're just going to come down to 60s. Right here. The next range. Essentially, I'm betting on this range holding up right now. And then if it holds up, then they trap those sellers. And they'll test here. And then if that continues, then we go into the overnight high, which was 914. Which where I'll scale more. There you go. That's the premise here. See if it holds or not. The idea is that it's a micro failed breakdown of the current small range that we're currently undergoing. That's holding value above the opening range. Right here. Holding this value here. We're currently above it. We tapped into it, rejected it, put it in a failed breakdown, squeeze, scale at the first high, and then scale the next high, which is the one from the overnight high. There you go. I added 2 lots, and I'll scale those 2 lots that I added there. If it tags, we'll see. Too much is given, much is tested. Moscow. So much emphasis. Ooh, they so sensitive. The room's over fumes, God. Where's the overnight high at? Yeah, 16. Like what? God, when they reminisce over you, my God. I give my money. What the fuck? Really? Pop $1? There's no way. There's no way. Whoa, what is that? Oh no. Something going on with DraftKings. You just popped a whole ass dollar, bro, on nothing. What the fuck? What's the news there? Something's going on with DraftKings here. You just popped a whole ass dollar on it. Massive squeeze, dude. That's massive. The fuck was that about? See if I can find the news. 2 hours ago. See the most recent. Breaking judge allows Massachusetts to prohibit Kalshi offering. Oh, there you go. Massachusetts prohibits Kalshi, which allows There you go. If that continues, that'd be a nice trajectory. They start banning prediction markets. That could be great for DraftKings. Anyway, come on. Come on, ES. Wake up, buddy. Fucking, I got shit to do, bro. Fill me already. This wants to go to higher, dude. It wants to go higher. Having tons of volatility right now on fucking DraftKings. See what they got on the chain. 80. In my life, so I hustle. And buck you. Huh? Yeah, I know. Dude, DraftKings, that was a massive leg, bro. It was down 4%. Now it's up 1%. That's crazy. It went from 32 to 33. This holds 33s. I'm buying some. I'm swinging some shares there. If it can hold 33 on that. Anyway, this is about to tag me. Pay me. Miss the market. Pay the patient trader. Pay me, sucker. You guys saw me do nothing for like 2 hours. I'll buck you. Sing stay in my life. So annoying as fucking Chop, bro. Just get out of this area already. It's just teetering between two zones, which is more or less the 6,900, I guess. 6,900 and like what, like 88 or 90? It's like a 10-point range. Rotations today are 10 points apart, which is very suppressed given the massive gap down. Like they're suppressing volatility here today. Wow. Boring. Come back down again. Very weak tape. Now the S&P, now the Nasdaq's weak. We've alternated from the Dow being weak to the Nasdaq. Yeah. Not a fan of this anymore. It's like chopping around near the low end. It's probably gonna fail. I likely get stopped out on this one now. The Nasdaq's not holding. It's flushing now. It was holding pretty well before. While the S&P was dipping, and now they're in tandem. Not what you want to see. But it is what it is, man. Yeah, this is a breakdown. It's coming down. I'll let it stop me out, but it's not looking good at all for the bulls. Mm. Oh, wait. Boeing is positive on a day like today. That is marvelous. Mm. Ugh. Oh, he's trying to reclaim again. Check it out. It's like a smaller time frame. The same level. They keep trying to reclaim it. They can't get over this one right now. 88. Then it probably fails again. It probably comes down to here and then here. So fail, and then we come down to 76. That probably flushes. It's like a mid-morning pivot. It might come down to the 2026 low. This is the low of the year so far from the beginning of the year. This is where I like longs too. If it does a failed breakdown here, this is a cluster of lows. We'll see if it does. If it doesn't work today, it might be for tomorrow on the plan. But if we can come out at some point, boom, like that, hold, that would be awesome. They're reclaiming. They're probably going to squeeze again. But if into tomorrow or the rest of the week, at any point this week, we can come down here, put in a failed breakdown at this level, pretty good long as well. At that 60, what is it? 68, 64, 65 area. Yeah. Anyway, they're still holding this thing. See, that's why you don't stop out early. You leave a level for invalidation because they do a bunch of this shit. Pull back, grind it out, higher, lower, tug and pull, tug and pull. They play a lot of games, man. They rejected it. And they come again. Oh, that's definitely a failure now. Or is it a trap again? Ugh. Ugh. Well, this chop, I guess, is expected. After the whole session is played out, it's now developed to be like the middle of today's profile. We have a ton of value all over. This is all the value. This is the midpoint of all of it. So the whole flipping back and forth, indecision stuff is kind of expected, I guess, given where we're trading. The best value is going to be here at 76 or above, which looks about like 904, where we kind of rejected this morning. But given that we're such in this chop zone, my stop loss is not wide enough to sustain a dip, so this is likely going to take it out. Oh, above VWAP, you see how they're trying to hold VWAP on the dips. They're defending it right there. Okay, hold. Oh, fuck, this is boring as fuck. Anyway, the reason I put my stop a little bit below VWAP is for that reason. I don't want to put it an exact low, more or less a little bit below it, just in case they want to defend it on dips. And they're trying to right now. Who knows if it holds or not, though. They're right at the... Nah, I'm gonna let it stop me out. It haven't stopped me out yet. Like a tick away. If they don't stop me out, it's gonna be hilarious. I'm a few ticks away. Oh man. If I can say that'd be hilarious. What? It came like a few ticks away from my stop and it slowed down. You can see the tape was like really slow into it. That's wild. That is wild. They didn't stop me. Oh man, that's hilarious. If this hits profit, I'm gonna be laughing today. Because I came a few ticks short of getting stopped. I'm long since the beginning of session. Oh, that's good. What got you long? And it drives you crazy? Oh. I'm assuming it you haven't taken any profit yet or anything? I mean, today's been really fucking boring to be honest. Like this is choppy, choppy, chop, chop, chop. You know, in very micro ranges, like 10-point increments, which is not what I expected given the gap down. You know, they're definitely dampening the volatility. They're controlling the volatility today because the IB was very narrow. I think it was about like 15 points, maybe less. And then this afternoon consolidation, like midday, let's call it, is like 10 points. It's 88 or 90 to VIX is going down. Yeah, so they're compressing volatility. There you go. The market maker flip, the volatility doesn't kick in until we get below the overnight low, which is over here. So as long as we're above the gamma, positive gamma territory, this is kind of the function of price. Like likes to chop around and mean reverting up and down over and over, unless there's a catalyst. So it's kind of like the environment we're in too, being above the gamma flip zone. When that happens, this is kind of the territory, but I would expect at least 20 points of range, not 10, given the volatility. You know, from the gap down. So this is a little abnormal. They definitely wanted to crush IV. Where's DraftKings at? Holding that little pop. Nah, top of the hour, little movement. When it rains, it pours. If this hits the TP, I'm gonna laugh so hard because I came like a few ticks away from getting stopped out. The Dow reclaimed the breakdown level now too. So things are lining up better than they were earlier. Hello? Sí, eran los dos que habían visto la semana pasada o hace 2 semanas. Sí, la teja y el que estaba también tenía un liqueo arriba de la recámara, ¿recuerda? Sí, arriba de la cama. Sí, sí, dígame. Sí, perdón, ¿vino usted o su hermano hace 2 semanas? ¿Usted fue el que le enseñé 2 habitaciones que les abrí? Ah, ok, fue su hermano, sí. Ok, mira, el de la teja sí es el más grande que tengo. que viene siendo el 219. No sé si ya subió a ese edificio. A 220, perdón. Es arriba de 220. No. ¿Le mando un mapa ahorita? Hoy sabes que ahorita lo miro en un ratito. Pero sí, le puedo mandar un mapa donde están locados si gusta. Sí. El que hizo anteriormente, sí liqueó otra vez. Donde estaba el baño. El que estaba en el baño que hizo arriba. No en la orilla, pero en el centro donde están los aire acondicionados. Ese sí liqueó de nuevo. Pero ahorita le mando el mapa entonces. ¿Mm? This fucking market's on some dumb shit. Oh man, you know what? I'm gonna walk away from this. Let it stop me out. It doesn't seem like it wants to break out. They're trying to, and every pop is sold into, and then every dip is bought into. So I'm done watching this shit. I'm gonna set price alerts, and I'll be notified if I get stopped out or not. I'm not. I don't need to do anything anyway. It's not like I need to manage the position in terms of like moving my stop or moving my take profit. It just needs to stay where it is, and market's gonna decide if I'm right or wrong. And if I'm wrong, then the other idea is to get long again, 65, somewhere around there. See if there's a failed breakdown setup there. But for now, I will hold this one as long as this failed breakdown setup is valid and alive, and it's very much alive. It's just acting stupid. But yeah, that's it for me today, man. The market's on some dumb shit. Just producing no volatility really. But that's okay. Look, I'm up 9, 9, 6. That's 15, 15 plus another 4. Like 2,000. If I lose, what my stop loss is 440, so I still walk away with 1,600. I don't really give a shit. You know, if this trade hits, then I make an additional what, maybe 4 or 500, so 25. Oh, green no matter what. I don't really give two shits anymore. I really don't have to be here sitting here watching this thing trade anymore. Um, I'm not sure if anyone's watching this at all. I get literally no engagement, but you guys have a good day. See ya.